back to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com, broadcasting each and every Wednesday night out of Studio 7 Cafe and Coffee Company, located on Del Prado Boulevard in the TJ Maxx Plaza in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida. And again, I use the term, or mention the state we're in, because we're broadcasting all over the world. You can hear past shows on iTunes, YouTube. Thanks to Captain Brian at Captain Brian's Off the Hook Comedy Club. You can hear it at podcastcafelive.com. In fact, that's where our friends Zito and Garrett are, if you ever want to listen to Zito and Garrett. We'd like to thank Bob Garrett for making our t-shirts and designing our t-shirts. We'd like to thank Troy Nelson, who is our producer. And we'd like to thank Captain Al, who is the facilitator of Studio 7 Cafe.
Thanks, Al.
Al has a regular, he wears many hats. He has a lot to do, and if you want to talk to Al, he's here 7 days a week. So just,
Yes, and there's something going on here at the Studio 7 almost every night.
Almost every night, yeah. And you can visit the website and just Google Studio 7 Cafe and Coffee Company in Cape Coral, and you'll have a calendar of events. Right, Al?
Thank you, brother. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We talk about all things recovery related. We touched on the tragic death of Robin Williams, but that's just somebody we know because, everybody has, and this is in our promo, Joy, that everybody has a grandfather or grandmother, a father or mother, an aunt and an uncle,
sister, brother,
cousin,
neighbor,
son or daughter,
co-worker
that's been affected by alcohol and drug addiction. If that's your case in the studio audience, would you raise your hands, please? And
no
for those of you listening at home, I believe Sylvia didn't, but everybody else did. And that's only because Sylvia's on the Facebook right now. So and I believe everybody has raised their hand with that, and that's just generally how it is. Our guest on Rated R for Recovery this week are people from the Celebrate Recovery in Port Charlotte, Florida. We're talking with Chuck and LeeAnn LeCroix, husband and wife. They've been married for 4 years, and Bob and Jennifer, who are part of the Praise Band. Now, Bob, what brought you to Celebrate Recovery in the first place?
Actually, it was the music.
How did you even know about this thing, though, called Celebrate Recovery?
Well, I had been going. I was on the worship team at First Alliance Church in Port Charlotte, and loved that. Got into the music. Got saved first, and then I got on the worship team there, and I was there for I've been there for about 10 years, I would say. And then within that period of time, I met Chuck and liked the way he played, and he invited me one time to play with his band at Celebrate Recovery, and we've been doing it ever since.
And that's
great sound.
LeCroix Band that's ever so popular on stage and screen. Jen, you came to Celebrate Recovery when?
I actually was pretty soon to the start, and I believe it was 2007. And I, like Bob, I came for the music. I was asked to come sing in the worship team, and I had to be convinced to start going to classes. So I did that. I started a step study group, and then actually took a break to do some theater. And shortly after that, I got involved with Chuck and LeeAnn in the LeCroix Band, and just fell in love with them and the band.
Okay.
But it really is a great sound.
It is. It is. It's a very, very familiar
my
sound.
My socks off, yeah. I love the harmonies, yeah.
Chuck, you formed this band when?
Oh, this goes back to when I first met LeeAnn, and I was starting to experiment with other musicians from church, and we were going into our house and setting up, and renting stuff for a day. We'd rent a music place for a day, like a little room to go in and set up.
So you could get together?
Yeah, so we could all get together and play. And LeeAnn had a vision that this was going to be what we were going to do. And she came into a little bit of money, and we went out and we just bought a bunch of equipment. We bought a PA. I'm like, are you sure you want to spend all this money? Because we're not really doing anything with this right now. And she said, no, we're going to use it. And I had it in my little room before I had a house. I was roommating with somebody, and I had this huge PA in my bedroom. And it was all stacked up, not hooked up or anything, but it was all just right there. And I knew it was going to come out of there one day and get all hooked up and be used.
Chuck, what brought you to Celebrate Recovery in the first place?
What brought me there was my roommate at the time. I just left the Mission Unity Recovery Center. I spent 9 months there after I decided I'd had enough and it was time to get clean after 35, 40 years of running around with cocaine and crack and all that stuff. I'd been living on the street.
Me too.
Yeah.
And a friend took me there. He says, hey, they got music and everything, because I was just going to meetings, and I just moved out and was rooming with another guy, and we went in there, and I liked the music. And so I talked to somebody, and they said, "Oh, Tony's the pastor, go talk to him." And I talked to him, and I never looked back. I got involved in the church, and I'd already been saved. But I was, really not, I was not using all of that I'd been given, that freedom of being saved. I hadn't used that yet, and I hadn't figured out, I didn't even really know that I was actually saved until I started, reading the Word and getting back into it and talking to people in church and going to the groups, and then I kind of figured out this is where I want to go. And gradually I segued into church and Celebrate Recovery, and the meetings, the outside meetings kind of dropped off, and I got so busy, I got one night a week to do anything. It's band practice, this, that, Celebrate Recovery, 2 Celebrate Recoveries, trying to work and balance everything. So we are very busy right now.
You're very busy, and okay. I got sober through a fellowship.
Amen.
And I attended my first meeting of Celebrate Recovery in October of 2008. I've been going ever since. But I was told, and I don't mean to point out anybody's faults, misgivings, or anything. This is what I was told, that I was to not let one thing take the place of another thing. That I owed that original fellowship something. I owed to the man that were there, that gave it so freely, so loved me for who I was. I was a 138-pound crackhead with no teeth. And they helped me, and they loved me through the process. So today, and it's just for me, but this is what I was told, that I needed to hang around. I couldn't let that go. That it's my duty now to be there in the meeting that maybe I like or dislike, for the guy that's just coming crawling in like me. What are your feelings about that now? I'm not trying to shame you or anything, but
you're not. You're not.
Okay. Hopefully I don't have that power, first of all.
No, you don't.
Good.
Well, it just, for me, it was like a process. It was something that just happened. Mm-hmm. I didn't intend to shun meetings or anything like that. The place that I got clean at got bought out, for one thing, and I did feel a very big draw and a very loyalty to Mission Unity, because that's where all my meetings were and everything. It was like there was like 5 or 6 different houses. Then they had a big center house with all the meeting rooms and all that. And so you didn't have to go anywhere. Basically, you could just do all your stuff right there. And even after I moved out, I continued to do my meetings there. Now they've turned it into a 28-day program, and fired the director, who was my mentor, basically, who I still keep in contact with, and I'm very loyal to. I told you, if you ever need me for anything, I'm there. So basically, my place where I attended all my meetings and everything is gone. And I went to a few other church meetings and things like that, and I just got to where I got so much going on with my fellowship and with my friends at church. It was just, for me, it was a natural progression, and I feel that I'm home where I'm at. And I don't feel like that I abandoned anybody or that I abandoned the meetings. And I have nothing against Fellowship of AA or NA. I love it. I think it's
or
great.
CA.
Or CA.
And I think what you're explaining is you followed where you were led, and where your heart was. And we talked about this last week, that delight yourself in the Lord, and He will show you the desires of your heart. And I think we are all called, to different paths, and thank God for that. If we were all called to the same path, it would be pretty boring, and we'd all be doing the same thing.
And it'd be crowded.
Yeah. and we're all called, for different purpose, but we have a common purpose.
Okay. Well, we're going to have the band do another couple songs to lead us out. We're not going to go to commercial break, producers and sound techs, so you don't have to worry about that. We're just going to say that let's touch on what's coming up on almost said Celebrate Recovery, which is good. Rated R for Recovery next week, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you join us, as our guests will be the facilitator, Thomas, and his parents from Thomas's Living Sober House here in Fort Myers, and Mike Z will be giving his own personal testimony as we talk.
And I'll have to call in because I won't be here.
You're going to call in?
Yeah. I'll call in. I'll call your phone.
Well, no, you won't have to, because next week I'm told that we'll have a phone line.
All right.
And I'll be in touch.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and give a nice Rated R for Recovery welcome. Once again, are you ready, gentlemen? Ladies? To the low. He's tuning, so I'm trying to stretch it out.
I know.
The
It just sounds silly.
He needs a capo. the LeCroix Band. Give them a nice round of applause.
Make sure we got this. Go.
Yep, there he is.
Got it now? Here's one called Only One King.
Satisfaction in all your machinations, just a great deal. You can't serve two masters, my friend, 'cause in the end, there's only one king. That's right. There's only one king. The world is calling with its new infatuation. What you hoping to find? Just more distractions and dangerous situations. There won't be no peace of mind. Change the focus of your investigation. The answer will reign. There's only one king. There's only one king. Servant and friend, the angels will sing. Yeah, there's only one king. There's only one king. Yeah. There's only one king. There's only one king. Yeah, count just one.
Good job. We're running out of time, but we have time enough for one more song. That's a darn sure thing right now. So once again on Rated R for Recovery, here is the LeCroix Band.
I played this one before. It was our sound check, and it's a place called Heaven.
New string.
And in John 14, verse 3, it says, "And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and will take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also." Amen. Place called Heaven.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Have you heard the story about the truth and glory see the King for all eternity. And it's very clear, the day is drawing near. It's way beyond the sun. So listen everyone, listen. There's a place called heaven, this I know. A place for you and me. You better get ready, 'cause soon you'll be in a place called heaven for you and me. When it's said and done,
When it's said and done,
we will be the one.
we will be the one.
We will see the King
We will see the King
for all eternity.
for all eternity.
And it's very clear,
And it's very clear,
day is drawing near.
day is drawing near.
It's way beyond the sun.
It's way beyond the sun.
So listen everyone, listen. There's a place called heaven, this I know. A place for you and me. You better get ready, Jesus is coming from a place called heaven for you and me. For you and me. For you and me. You and me.
Let's have a nice round of applause for the LeCroix Band. We're out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you join us next Wednesday night when our guests will be the people from Thomas's Living Sober House. Also, who else was on the show next week? I just said it. I know. You, in fact, Joy, whose microphone I think is off right now, will not be here next week, and we'll have a special guest co-host, I think.
I'm on vacation.
Yeah, and then you'll be back, right?
Yes.
No, don't stay away. So that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out RatedRforRecovery.com. Like us on the Facebook and pass us around. You've been listening to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com.
Trust God, clean house, help others.
Stay sober, my friends.
Amen.